Fear is implemented. It's a program to stop us from making our dreams come true. And most of the things we're scared of never happen until you think about it so much that you manifest it. When you're sitting around thinking about shit you're scared of, that means you're not doing nothing about it. Because when you're doing shit, you ain't thinking about the past, you're thinking about what's in front of you. So if you got time to reflect, that's too much time. You should be working. Too much time reflecting is sucker shit to me. That's licking your wounds. I'd rather fight. And that's what I want to be famous for, fighting. I don't want to be famous for rapping. I don't want to be famous for acting. I want to be famous for kicking some fucking ass to those that deserve it and helping people that I love. And that's what I'm going to go down in history for, an ass kicker.
Life is a test. Your test is to do the things you don't like. That's what the test is. No one's going to give you anything, and I'm not your father or your mother. What I'm saying is stop complaining. Pull your skirt up. If you're lazy, you're just going to lose, period. You know, if you're so depressed because you're scared and you don't have nothing and you ain't doing nothing to fix it, go get therapy. But don't spread that energy around.
You know, I did an experiment last week because I was like, I don't understand how people are depressed. It's so much fun to be healthy. And I was like, there were some things that were bothering me with people that were close to me. And I said, I'm not going to talk about what's bothering me until at least they talk about it. And they didn't talk about it. And I internalized it. And I was sad a little bit every day because of that. And I was like, fuck, this is what depression is. I'm never doing that again. So I dealt with it. I articulated it in a different way. Because the only way to change a scenario is to do it different. You know, the thing about people is they be like, oh, why is it always happening this way? Because you fucking do it the same way every day.
Right.
You react the same way. You move the same. I mean, how do you expect a different result if you're not doing anything different? So I decided to approach it a different way. And I wrote like letters and shit. And then it worked itself out. But at the end of the day, what I know is I'm never going to ever let anything that's bothering me fester. Because that causes sadness, which causes cancer. It's not healthy to be unhappy. In this world, in this universe, in this existence, in any vibration, there's a yin and a yang. There's just as much negative as positive. It's just how you perceive it. Everything has a negative. There's a negative in everything. There's a positive of it in everything. It's just some people focus only on the negative. That's called fear. You're leading with it. It's the truth. If you lead with negative, then you're lost. Everything is positive. Even when something bad happens, it must have happened for a reason, a good reason. It's just for me to find it. I'm not
it's about how you approach.
Why would I pay attention to the negative or the fear? I can't control none of that shit. The thing about being uncomfortable, for me, I don't like being uncomfortable. So I do anything I can not to be uncomfortable as quickly as possible. If something's bothering me, immediately I'm trying to figure out any way I can not to be bothered anymore. But people would rather be bothered and not deal with it. I just don't logically get that. It'd be people that have no plan, that aren't doing anything, are the most distracting.
Right.
They're the ones that speak the loudest because if you're doing something, you don't have time to be worried about somebody else.
Right.
You don't have time for jealousy if you're doing something. You're too tired doing what you're doing. So if you're sitting around thinking, that means you should be doing some action. So that's your fault. So then the overcompensation comes for blaming somebody else for the reasons why you don't want to move. Like, it's just like, that's why I say I don't have time to be worried. Like, if I feel something's giving me anxiety, I go fix it. Other people thinking they won is a win. But when you don't win and in your heart you don't feel like you won, that the win should be when you have won by your standard, by not someone else's. Because people are generally like insecure and people generally look the other way. They do things that are illogical and they all have their own set of problems. So everyone considers a win different. So why would I consider my win something that makes you happy? I'm gonna consider my win something that makes me and my family and my kids and my girl happy. I don't wanna look like I'm rich to make you happy. I need to be rich. So guys think they're rich because they might have monetary, like temporary money that they could take care of themselves. Right. But that's not rich. Rich is being able to take care of your kids' kids. Being able to make it where your generation or the generation after you doesn't have to go through the same problems as you did.
But at the end of the day, it's about, to me, figuring out what exactly your clear dream is. And, you know, I have a process. You know, I work in dimensions. So my first dimension, and dreams don't cost $1. So why dream cheap? I don't want to dream to survive. I want to dream for the perfect world. So for example, you don't say, oh, I want a yacht, but I'm worried about the gas. You don't worry about the gas in your dream. but it has to be unobstructed. So sometimes you might dream around people and they're like, these are the reasons why you can't do it and blah, blah, blah. So then you start visualizing. So that messes that whole process up. So you have to also keep people around you that can dream, or at least aren't going to obstruct yours. After that, the next dimension is you got to put it on paper, you know, and, you know, that's another dimension. You put it on paper and it's clear. You can write it down in a couple of sentences, and other people that have the same dream can also read, identify with it, and you'll find that, you know, you can come together. And then the next dimension, making it actually happen. You know, it's about really being strategic about architecting your future. It's about being a time traveler. It's about going 10 years to the future, seeing what you want your life to look like, and then coming back and making sure that you get to that path, eliminate everything that's going to deter you, and just make sure you focus on everything that's going to get you there as quick as possible. No one doesn't not want to be the boss. And if you're not the boss, it's just not many people want to fight to be the boss. But who doesn't want to be the boss? You know? So I think a therapist, like, why you don't want to be the boss? Most people think they can't. It's about a flip. It's about knowing you can. It's about the fight. Nothing good happens without some fight. You're only great when you're doing something that makes you a little uncomfortable. You gotta be a little uncomfortable to grow. To make muscle, you gotta lift weights, you gotta hurt. It doesn't happen overnight. You know, this ain't for what you want. Stop being so spoiled and entitled. You don't have that option.
And, you know, if you can't have a yacht, then I'm not going on a cruise. I just won't be on a boat until I can get that yacht. I just have an expectation in myself. You know what I mean? Like, yo, if I can't afford no gold, then I'm just not wearing jewelry. But I'm gonna grind till I can. I don't mind the grind, because what I'm doing, I love. I'm doing it because I love it. The trick is to make a lot of money doing something that you would do for free. You understand what I'm saying? It's just easy. Once you find what you love and you know what your dream is, you just have to make that shit come true. But what I find is a lot of people just don't dream. No one has a dream. They be like, yo, you wonder why you ain't got nothing. You didn't dream about nothing. What, it's just gonna come to you? A dream's gonna smack you in the face? You have to know what you're fighting for every day. You're saying because you enjoy music or being a DJ, you enjoy having a boss. If you enjoy being a DJ, just why don't you own your own radio station and then DJ for your own radio station so your son can just get on anytime he wants? That's all I'm saying. See, you enjoy the safety and the security of a job every day. But there's no pride in that to me. My son takes pride. My kids take pride in the fact that I have Dash Motors. And because I have that, my son said, I'm not gonna ever have a boss. His mentality is different. It's just about changing mentality. I think because people on the radio tell people it's okay to have a boss, they don't understand that they can have more. And because of the consumer relationship, the internet, there's no excuse. So when I make a movie like Los Aides, I don't have to ask if I could put Daniel in it. I just do it. You don't need any money for knowledge. The problem is y'all don't take the time to listen. Y'all talk too much about gossip and not about what's gonna be. It's so easy. It's an internet. So there is no excusing not being able to sell something on Vimeo or PayPal, which is what people do, and have an audience and make money off it. You can flip. My son Boogie doesn't have a job, right? That's all. I hustle for my kids. I don't want my kids to ever want to have a job. To me, call another man boss is calling another man daddy. I mean, it's not for men to be told what to do by other men. That's just where Harlem is raised. So yeah, you can go be calling somebody else boss, a man or whatever, and hustle for something you can't pass to your son, but use the little money you get from what they get. But you gotta look at the margin. If the radio company's making $1 billion, shouldn't you be making some of that? Like somewhere near that? It's not, it doesn't make mathematical sense. The people that are spending your money don't wake up this early. I guarantee you they don't go to work 4 hours a day and break their f***ing back for pennies on the dollar. I'm trying to flip all my money to get to $1 billion. So once I get to the football team, what that was easy for you to say, I just use my own money, and when I don't have it, y'all on the radio talking about me, right? And when I do have it, y'all asking me about other that I did, 20 years ago.
So you got it right now?
No, I don't. I got the movies on the street. I'm never gonna have it because as soon as I get it, it goes on the street. I don't put up money. Saving money's for suckers to me. I have so much confidence in me that I flip. And 10 years later, and 15 years later, and 20 years later, I'm still a boss, and you still got a job.
Now,
Wait, maybe you might want to break the cycle.